Welcome, my friend. Let's talk about the non-duality cult, the booby prize of non-duality, and let's see whether or not if you are caught in this particular eddy, let's call it, of spirituality, where you've pulled off to the side of the river and are sitting there swirling around going nowhere. If you're doing that, if you feel frustrated, if you feel as though you've invested a lot of time and energy in non-dual teachings, let's figure out how to get you unstuck from that eddy and out of the cult of non-duality. Because in the end, you're going to ultimately have to leave the cult of non-duality. Because that's how it worked for me. Before awakening, you think that awakening is this one particular thing. And so you put all your eggs in this shiny basket, and it becomes this idol. It becomes this really, really slick object that has to do with the teachings and the videos and the books and probably even your friends, and maybe you even have a teacher, etc. And you've incorporated this into your life, and you're all about this, and you are that. All of it. You speak the language. You know, you're used to teachers who are like, pauses, breathy air, speaking very slowly. That whole thing. And that's as far as you've taken it. That's where you are on the path. You're caught in the cult of non-duality. And, you know, that old saying, kill the Buddha in the road, this applies to non-duality as well. Eventually, you have to, be your own self-advocate. Eventually, when you've seen all the videos and you can talk the talk, etc., you have to greenlight your own awakening. You have to greenlight your own confident final approach. And how does one do that? How does one extract themselves from the cult and realize that you're it, that no teacher or teachings or friends or whatnot can give you the thumbs up? This is what I did. I left the cult, and it was just up to me to recognize that no one was going to give me a certificate of authenticity. No one was going to say, yay, you woke up, here's your diploma. It had to come from within. So how does one do that? It's a matter of kind of driving yourself nuts within the cult and having enough experiences and aha moments and insights and actual living, breathing, real, tacit, emotionally charged, physically charged, and mentally clear experiences that are deep into self-consciousness, that are deep into awareness, where it snaps you out of your ego and your mind, and you wake up and you're like, holy shit, this is it. You know, and you go through this little phase that is sometimes called, gotta remember here 1 second. It is called non-abiding awakening, where now you have it, now you don't. Now you have it, now you don't. And once that starts happening for you, you're getting pretty close to leaving the cult. Because now you've realized that everything that they're pointing to is within. And you don't necessarily need to be hanging out and partying with the non-dualists. That it's over. It was a nice little church that you attended for a while, and now that it's over, this phase, this non-abiding awakening phase, is very, very common. I went through it. It's this experience of realizing you're your aware, awake self, and it then imbues your life and your body and your senses with this really powerful, amazing freedom and sense of peace and openness. And then it collapses back down a couple of weeks later in your, ego mind on the streets of Baltimore again. And go through that a bunch of times, and you'll develop an inner confidence that that, hey, this is part of the process, and something's going on. Your engine is primed. And then one day you'll go through one of these non-abiding awakening states, which feels very much, towards the end, kind of like failure in one sense or another. I have another video about failure. You can watch that. But it's your final, birth through the birthing canal. It's your final approach. It's final landing approach. And that's how it's done. And then you've left the cult. And then, I will give you an example of what I mean by leaving the cult. I got no problem with non-duality teachers. They're more ubiquitous than ever these days. But since I woke up, I've had zero interest in sitting with them, in hanging out with them as if I was going to get something from them. It's over. The church of non-duality is over for me. And it is over for those who have woken up. Stop the search. Call off the search, I think Papaji once said. So that's kind of how it works. So I hope that this prepares you for that inevitability. If you're really going to go through this, if you're really, really wanting to wake up, it means that you have to leave the cult of non-duality. I guess of all the cults, it's probably the best one, better than, the Moonies and Branch Davidians and whatever strange ass, legitimate cults. This is a fairly innocuous one, but one that nonetheless you gotta leave. Alrighty, I hope this video has helped you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.